Hey guys, today I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about how to select an occupational therapy program. Now, when I decided I wanted to do occupational therapy, I had no idea where to begin. I didn't know what schools had occupational therapy programs, I didn't know what to look for, and I didn't know anybody who could answer those questions for me or who had that information for me. So I just wanted to share with you a couple of sites that I think have some useful information. The first thing that I think is probably the most helpful is the American Occupational Therapy Association's list of accredited schools. Now this list is awesome. Basically, it breaks down for you what schools are accredited and what schools are going through the accreditation process. This is really important because you cannot sit for the MBCOT certification exam if your school is not accredited, which would really just suck, right? I mean, that's a lot of money and a lot of time and effort to go through a program just to get to the end, and you can't even sit for the certification exam. Not anything that I don't think anyone wants to do. So the nice thing about this list, or what I think is really, really nice, is that this list is broken down by degree. So if you are interested in an entry-level doctorate, there's a section that specifically lists schools that are accredited entry-level doctorate programs. There's also a section for entry-level accredited masters and accredited OTA programs. Another nice thing about this list is that it tells you what schools are in what states. So if you know that you want to stay close to home and then you're going to only be looking at specific states, you can scroll down to whatever states you're interested in and find out all the accredited programs that are located in that state specifically. It's also nice if you know you do not want to go to a specific state because you can basically just cross out any schools that are in states that you're not interested in. One last thing that is a little bit harder, you really do have to search through the list and look closely to find this information, is whether or not the program has a part-time portion to it. Now, some programs are going to be like a weekend program or maybe a distance learning program or an evening program. And the nice thing about the AOTA accreditation lists are that they tell you, if you look closely, they'll say if a school might have an evening program or might have a weekend program. And this is really nice, especially if you're someone who knows you can't do a full-time program. Another resource that I think most people are familiar with is the U.S. News & World Report ranking of the best occupational therapy programs. Now this is just a ranking of the various occupational therapy programs that are out there, and it basically goes from best to worst. Now it's important to know that these rankings are determined by peer assessments. So an assessment is sent to the deans or administrators and faculty of specific schools, and they rate other schools. And then the U.S. News & World Report takes that information and develops a ranking from that. Now, not all schools are going to be on there because the response rate is not perfect. In 2011, it was only 41% of people that responded. So there might not be enough information about specific schools. However, I think this is a really nice list because it does kind of show you how schools match up against each other. If you're kind of considering 2 or 3 different schools, it's nice to know which one the peers or other schools think is a stronger school versus which schools think is a weaker school. The last resource that I have for you guys is this really cool ranking system on graduateprograms.com. Now this is a graduate school ranking that's based on student reviews. So they took information from current students or recent graduates and made a ranking based on how students responded and rated schools in 15 different categories. Now it's important to know that these reviews were done by scholarship entries and social media platforms. So not every student at the school was interviewed or was asked about their opinion about a certain school. So that could, of course, determine how certain schools are ranked. So, of course, keep it with a grain of salt. But it is kind of nice to see a student ranking and student perspectives about what schools are doing well on and what they aren't doing well on. And the really cool thing about this ranking is that they actually have categories too. So you can look at like top schools that students say, or according to students, have the best financial aid, things like that. So it's kind of nice to see a breakdown of, okay, students are saying they have really good financial aid or they have really good this. So that's a really cool resource, I think. I'll be putting all of the links to information down below, so if you'd like to look at the AOTA accreditation list or the 2 ranking systems, you should be able to find the links down below. Now, if you know of any additional resources that are out there that would be helpful and would be a good addition to this list that we have here, please comment down below and tell me what they are. I would love to hear them. I would love to know what other resources are available to other students. I hope that you found this information very helpful. Have a nice day. Bye.